Today, I'm just gonna be making my watch list live. It might sound super easy and simple. This is one of the things that are super overlooked because this is literally the foundation of my strategy. There is no strategy that exists without the key levels that I'm about to go over. And I'm just gonna literally make it right in front of you guys, going over to the 1 minute time frame, tell you guys exactly what I'm thinking about when I'm making these key levels. And it's pretty easy to me, but it might be complicated to you at first, but I promise you it gets easier and easier as it goes. So what I do is clear out all these levels, go to the 1 hour time frame, and I'm just looking to see what reacts, right? What is a reaction in the first place? When we have a huge move or in one direction going either to the downside or the upside and something stops it and then it has a reaction, basically this right here where we come down, stop, and then come up, there's a reaction there. So I'm obviously going to mark out 320. Does that mean I'm going to take it? No, I have to look left, but this is just a starting point. So I mark out 320 and I also mark out, let's see. So we also want something a little bit closer. Now, what I don't want to see is something like this. As you guys can see the line right here, you don't want to see all these candle bodies closing above and below, above and below. Like, you don't want to see all that. You want to see a nice clean break. So for example, let's say this price action wasn't here. I would have a level, let's say 347 for example, and see how all the candle bodies were above that level, and then once it broke out clean, it had this huge move to the downside. That's what I want to see. What I don't want to see is a level like this where it's just back and forth in that area, back and forth in that area. Now I'm going to delete this, right? And it could be any of these levels to the downside. We want to see reactions. And honestly, you know, that 347 doesn't look that bad at all, but we already broke that today. I'm just gonna leave that right there. We want to see reactions. Now my eyes are going immediately to this area right here. As you guys can see, we bounced off of that. Then once we broke under, we retested that for a nice move to the downside. So there's something in that area that is causing this thing to react there, right? And Tesla's hauling right now. But I'm going to mark out some levels here, 364, and I always do whole numbers, by the way. I never do 364.2, like it's always whole numbers, and the reason being is because what is the reason why we have a wall here in the first place? It's because there's a lot of orders waiting to be executed at a certain level, and for the most part, they'll never do like 363.50. No, they put their orders at a specific level, and it's always a whole number. And the reason why I'm not going to mark out 362 is because there's a wick above there. I could have, but there is better levels, which is this 363, 364, just because if we get in, again, history likes to repeat itself. If we got in at 362 last time, it went literally about 70 cents, which is fine, but we want a cleaner breakout. So a better level could be this 363 right here. And then what I do is I just look left. Probably have to go further back. Oh my gosh, look how clean that is, guys. So 363 touched, and had a very nice breakout. 363 all the way, and I'm gonna leave it like that. One thing you guys gotta note is just because we break 363 does not mean I'm gonna take it, right? We also have 3 different things that I have to look at is, you know, intraday reactions on the 1 minute time frame / previous price action, depending on how we got there, how it's reacting at that level. We also want to look at the time of sales, seeing what the time of sales is doing, making sure that we have enough buyers coming in at 363 for us to take this for a nice breakout, and just really analyzing what price is doing at 363, or else it could be a fake out. And this is how I increase my win rate from, let's say, a base of like 70% to 90%, is because I don't just take it because it breaks. No, I'm looking for all that stuff as well, which will increase my win rate to a 90% win rate or 87% year to date. So that's how we found our first level, and then we have that bottom level right there. And you might be like, okay, well, let's say we come back down to the downside. 320 is so far away. Well, I take the best and leave the rest. If we don't get a downside move on Tesla, we have 3 other stocks that we're taking a look at. So we have these 2 levels here. Now I want to take a look at NVIDIA, and that 135 was something we were looking at. As you guys saw that reaction there, and it went crazy today. Look at that breakout of that 135. So nice. That thing absolutely killed. But the problem is we don't have another level here to the upside. There's nothing that I like to the upside here on NVIDIA at all, because it's just so choppy back and forth in that area. So I'm going to clear out all of these levels, and there's no levels there, right? I'm not going to force a trade here. There's no levels here on NVIDIA. Taking a look at SPY. Oh my gosh, that looks so nice. So this is all-time high, 611. The reason why I didn't do 610 is because last time it broke out at 610, it stopped 70 cents and then fell right back down. If we keep taking a look, keep moving, we can see that we kind of reacted at 610, broke it by literally like, no, they didn't even break it yet. 610 is just a reactive area that keeps rejecting, but that 611 is is looking so nice because we haven't broken out of that yet. So this is looking good for an all-time highs play. And downside, take a look at downside. We might be able to do that 608 depending on how price action looks. And what I like to do is, since I execute on the 1 minute time frame, I'm gonna go ahead and see exactly how it broke on the 1 minute time frame previously. And I don't really like that. I do like that reaction, but I don't like that, right? Let me see if it looks better previously. If not, we're gonna have to scrap that level and wait for an intraday move. Yeah, like it's choppy at that. It broke above it, but then literally broke back down and died. So I don't really like 608 just yet. But if we react there on the 1 hour time frame after potentially rejecting here, then that would be nice, but it looks like it's about to break. So I only have the upside move on SPY. And then Qs, we had this level at 532, and you guys seen my recap on YouTube. If you didn't, go check it out. I killed this move. We got in there using a time of sales, and a good example of not getting faked out is seeing how this candle came up. It literally was in the 50s, then it jumped, so I can't take it like that. You can't have a jumping ticker. So then we wait. You saw buyers holding this up higher, higher, higher. Once it held this, went literally red to green, that's when I got in right around this area at that 532, and then we waited, and then it finally broke 533. That's when we got out. And apparently it just kept wanting to go all day. So we are nearing all-time highs, and the next level is 540. Let's see if we can find a closer key level or maybe a downside level. So the only other level that I had to the downside was at 534, and we kind of already broke out of that. Then we started going back and forth in that area. Kind of looks good here, but it's just back and forth. Now I'm looking at 535, kind of back and forth too. So I don't like anything to the downside either. Nothing's really setting up there, so I'm not going to force anything. But I do want to see if we get a closer level from 540, but I'm pretty sure 540 is going to be the closest key level here. And I don't do 539 because it broke out by 15 cents last time. Not saying that it might go 539 into 540, but the safest play is that 540. There's a higher probability that we'll get a nice 540 break instead of 539, and zeros and fives work the best, which means like 540, 545, but that doesn't mean 539 wouldn't work out. But this is just a safer play right there as we're coming up to around like this 537 area. We might see maybe a rejection here at first just because we are kind of flying up. We might come up a little bit, come down, and then go above that 540. But we're probably not going to take anything on Qs tomorrow. We're going to take SPY, right? Hopefully. And potentially Tesla as well. And this is how you don't force trades, and this is how you increase your win rate, is by being very selective about what you take and let everything else set up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.